Hi everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and today I am going to be sharing with you my month in review pages for 2020 as well as what I'm putting together for 2021. So I came across this idea from Janet over at RTS, and the idea behind it is that you scrapbook a 2-page layout representing a month in review. For me, I am including pictures that I wouldn't normally scrapbook that maybe give a little bit of a hint as to my day-to-day life, but not really stories in and of themselves. So every month I will have a 2-page spread that does that, and then in between I will file my regular scrapbook pages. So I haven't done a ton in 2020 yet, so there's not a lot in this album other than month in review, but as I flip through you'll probably see a couple and get the idea. The other concept behind this is that you use a similar layout for every month so that it's easy to mass produce. And last year I used 2 collections from Pink Fresh, and I will include the video above if you want to see more details on how I put this together. So January started off great. Same with February. And then March, well, we all know what happened in March last year, and it got a little bit crazy. And then after that I started taking fewer photos. I know, shocking, right? But I did manage to find the 6 photos that I had allotted for each month. Some of them were, you know, pictures of flowers and stuff like that, just because, you know, that was what was part of my life at that time. And you'll see that even though they are the same layout, they all look just a little bit different because of the different patterns that I use, the different photos. And like I said, once I start intermixing other layouts in between here, there will be a bit of a break in between the months. So here's an example of a layout that I did that fits in between. And here's another one, but then this is blank. So if when time comes and I'm actually finished scrapbooking this year and I still have a blank page, I've got filler sheets and stuff that I can throw in, or I can always tell a story that maybe I don't have photos for or something. So I made most of my embellishments for this year out of the same cardstock that I used to do the base pages. The butterflies were a Tim Holtz die cut, and I used, I think this was a Elizabeth Crafts design, and then I did have like some puffy stickers and chipboard that I helped embellish, it out. And I did do the month of December, even though I did December daily, and that is because in my chronological I like to still represent the month of December, even though I've quite extensively documented it already in December daily. So that is last year, 2020, and really for some people that is all they do. They don't do any additional scrapbooking, and it's actually a really great idea if you just want to have a representation of your life documented, and you know, maybe you're really busy and you don't have time to do much else. It's a good project to consider. So let me show you what I did for this year. So for 2021, I used another Pink Fresh collection. This time I used Indigo Hills 2. And the reason why I happen to use Pink Fresh for these years is because I love their papers, and I often get their mystery boxes, so I end up with a lot of cardstock, which is what you need for a project like this. Not only did I have a lot of cardstock, I also had the alpha stickers, I had the chipboard, journaling spots, ephemera, puffy stickers, and wooden stickers. So I had a lot of embellishments. So I didn't have to make any this year, which made the process even quicker. So I did do a title page. I just called it a brand new year 2021. I might add a photo in here afterwards at the end of the year. I might go back and pick a defining moment and include that, but for now that is going to be the front of my album. The sketch that I used this year was from page maps, and I will include that here so you can see what I started off with. And basically I did this assembly line. I did all the back layers of the papers first. Then I went in and did the mats for the photos. I have 5 spots for photos this year. Last year I had 6, but I could always take one of these and split them into 3x4 so I could get an extra photo if I need to. These are 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. These are 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and my intention is when I print my photos is to print them with a white border so it'll look like it's a double mat. Pink Fresh often has quite light colored collections, and so I opted to go with the colored mats just to help break things up a little bit and give some contrast. So this is January. That is February. There is March, April. This month I used some of the powder and paper to actually do my mats. You're not going to see very much of it. Again, like I said, by the time you get your 4x6 photo on here, you're just going to see a very small border. Here's May. This freaks me out a little bit, all this orange, but again, I just have to keep reminding myself that I'm really not going to see very much of this when it's all said and done. So that is May, June, July. So as you can see, even though I'm using the same papers and the same collection and the same layout, they still all look quite a bit different. And I think actually having the different pieces for the embellishment clusters helps. I opted to go with the shortened versions of the months this year because of the pieces that I was using for the layer here. These were all the journaling spots for the most part, and they were just too small to put the full name on them, but worked out quite well for the 3-letter shortened version of the calendar. There is September. I also wanted to mention that my journaling, the intent is to place it here. I can either do it as a block, or what I'll probably do it is as strips like I did last year. I really like the way that that looked. So that is September. There's October. November. And December. Now I did find that I didn't do these every month. I saved it up for a quarter. So once a quarter I would go in, find my, as in last year, 6 photos, print them, come in, add them to the mats and do the journaling. It's a pretty quick process when you have everything laid out. Last year I didn't include the finishing touches because of the way the layout was, but this year I did. So really, literally, all I have to do is print photos and add the journaling, and these will be done. If you have any questions about month in review, please let me know below. I will link to the video I did last year regarding this. This project may not be for everyone, but it is something to consider, especially if you're really busy. I'd be interested to hear if this is something that would pique your interest or if it's just really not your cup of tea. I always like to know what people's thought processes are. Thanks again, everyone, and until next time, happy crafting.